Hi, my name is Linda. I'm from the Office Experts Group, and today I would like to show to you some different types of graphical representations that you can use perhaps for dashboards or interactive reports. This particular dashboard has some KPI score tiles. It has a relationship graph, that has a label graph, a different sort of baseline comparison graph, and some unusual graphical indicators. All of these elements are controlled from a drop-down box here, which enables the user to select the particular activity that is to be analysed. And as you can see, as different activities are selected, so the graphical interfaces change in response. So the first item I want to draw your attention to is a KPI tile. A KPI tile is generally just a score of some sort, sometimes shown just as a number by itself, and sometimes shown, as this one is, with a dash or some indication to show what the total score is, so that and looking at the score you can see how well it's doing. The next element I want to show you is a relationship graph. A relationship graph shows the different elements that contribute toward a key indicator. In this case, our relationship graph is analysing experience. It has showing the relationship between 4 different elements: entertainment, education, aesthetic, and escapist. Each of these elements are given a score between 1 and 3. As the score gets higher and moves towards this sweet spot, so the dot moves towards the sweet spot. In this way, it is possible to see how this KPI score is broken down into its various elements. Just once again showing how those different elements are mapped against the sweet spot. Another interesting graph is the label graph. A label graph is where the label alone is used to indicate the value of the items being mapped. In this particular graph, we're doing it for shareability. We have the x-axis going across the top here, and then there are a number of different elements being analysed, in this case advanced trial, uncertainty, depth, portability, etc. And in this case, the name of the element and the score is shown in the label, and the label will move depending on the value. Just a nice, easy way of showing how the various elements relate to one another. Below that graph is a different kind of baseline comparison. In this graph, the baseline is actually the standard deviation that applies to shareability in this particular industry. As a score is gained, that is the sum of all of these various elements, that is mapped against the standard deviation performance. The final thing I wanted to show you was a different type of graphical indicator. We are used to traffic lights and stars and crosses, but in this case what we have used is some smiley faces. It seemed appropriate because we are representing surprise and joy. In this case, the faces actually change to express their level of surprise and joy as their various scores change. So for spatial activities, there's not a lot of joy or surprise, but as we go through the various activities, you can see the expressions changing in response to the various scores. Quite a cute way of bringing a little colour to your presentations. So we have demonstrated today KPI tiles, relationship graphs, label graphs, a different sort of baseline comparison, and some different types of graphical indicators that you can use. I hope that you have found this presentation interesting.